All right, my beautiful friends. Here we are again, together at last. And do you know what's going on? All around you, you are surrounded in little puffs of loveliness. It's true. Just whatever you do, when you grab onto one, don't hold on to it. Just release it. Set it free. It's true. We're all going to be a lot better off if we don't hold them. Anyway, let's move forward here. Nice rally on Wall Street today. But this, in my opinion, is, again, what I covered this morning when stocks were only up about 90 points. I said a retest was underway of the recent high just before the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 700 points. Yeah, that's what this looks like to me. And we're going to talk more about that. There's a lot of stuff going on. Look, we've seen this before. When stocks bleed off like that, generally, especially in this kind of environment where nothing is real, and we'll talk more about that too, you would expect to see a retest. Now, again, I am not saying just because we're retesting that high there, just before the 700-point drop, that we're going to drop back down. Oh, no, not at all. What's going to happen is the market is going to push up against it a few times. If it doesn't break through, we will get a continuation sell-off. To me, it looks like this market still wants to fall for several reasons. However, there are several reasons for it to stay propped up too. What did we find out today? 2 more world central banks have cut rates dramatically. 2 more in a series of world central banks who are doing the same thing. And I don't know how many of you are catching the freak show on CNBC, Bloomberg, Fox. They're all surprised. What's going on? Why are they all cutting rates at the same time? I'm shocked. I'm so surprised. Are you surprised? Hell no. I've explained to you that they're all going to go nuclear. This was just several weeks ago. I said, central banks are about to go nuclear. Well, guess what? They're going nuclear. How many of you caught this? Steve Leisman. I'm going to try to stay calm here with regard to this guy because he's out there and he's in another dimension. Steve Leisman was on CNBC explaining, he was talking to some other guy with white hair, okay? They're sitting across from each other and they're very serious. They're very engaged. Steve Leisman is like, do you think that world central banks should coordinate their efforts? Steve Leisman, you see, I told you, I'm going off the deep end. Steve, do you not believe that these central banks, they're all cutting rate? Let's put this basically simple for you, Steve, okay? It's like 2 plus 2, but I'm going to speak to you as if you are a child, all right? If the world central banks now, a series of them, are doing the same thing at the same time, is it too hard to put that together in your head, Steve, that they are coordinating what they're doing, Steve? Yeah, Steve, that's exactly what's going on here. That's part of the reason why stocks did what they did today and are retesting that high. Again, I'm not saying we're going to drop, but the market's going to test it. In a real market, we wouldn't even had this bounce more than likely, but in this environment where, again, the market's getting a clue from these series of world central banks that are cutting rates. They're like, okay, central banks got our back, and the president today came out again against the Fed. The Fed needs to cut rates dramatically. Hold on a second. Cut rates dramatically and needs to weaken the dollar. Now, if you recall, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, one of his advisors, Peter Navarro, I think that's his name. Navarro. Yeah, whatever. It's a thing anyway. He's another yellow stain, kind of a different shade than the Fed chair, but they're yellow also. The president seems to want to parrot what that guy said. Bah, bah, bah. Yeah, Mr. President, why don't you keep on parroting that? Or can't you make up your own mind? No, you're really getting bad advice here, Mr. President. It's true. So you go ahead and keep on parroting. You do that, you looking real smart to me. Real smart to me, Mr. President. Oh, my God, I tell you. Anyway, so that's his call. So that was also another little boost here for the market. But let me show you something. You're going to love this. You're going to love it. Let's look at this. Again, I love showing you this. Bond market. Let's look at what the bond market is saying today. I want you to look at the 1 month. It's yielding 2.039. Now look. It's dominating. The 1 month is dominating the entire yield curve right now. Okay? The only thing yielding higher right now is the 30-year. Notice the 30-year. 2.22. I can't make it out looking backwards. Maybe an 8. Okay, 2.22. You want to take a guess at what the federal funds rate is this week? It's 2.25. So you can't make this stuff up if you try. The 30-year is yielding less than the overnight rate, than the federal funds rate. Oh yeah, this is great. Real awesome. And another thing you won't know about, again, is the spread now between the 2-year and the 10 is 10 basis points. Oh, but it's great. Perfect. It's just beautiful. You know that. Ex Steve Leisman, he'll tell you, maybe you should ex the president. I don't think he has the slightest clue about anything right now at all, other than propping this entire thing up. It's pathetic. And just to be fair, not one candidate on the Democratic side that is running, they don't have a clue either. Let me explain to you how I can prove that to you. So you're watching these debates. How many of you have heard them attack President Trump on the economy? 0. And do you know why? Because they don't know any better. They don't realize that our economy is in free fall. They don't realize what the yield curve is saying. They have no idea whatsoever. So we have an epic clown show. Every one of the Democrats up there, and our president, who's the king clown with the big red fat nose. Yeah, that's him up there. They're all clowns. Every one of them. They don't have the slightest idea of what's coming down the pike, how to fix it, what to do. And I'll tell you something else. It doesn't matter anyway who wins, because once they get into that Oval Office, whether it's the president who wins again, he already knows the deal. But if it's one of these other characters, they're going to get sat down in that Oval Office and they're going to get a real good talking to. And then everything they're saying right now, it'll just disappear. Do you remember how that exact same thing happened to candidate Donald Trump when he became president? Oh, what he did, he got Obama's playbook, brushed it off, choom, 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 and said, this is what I'm going to do. And then he sprayed his shorts. Yeah, that's exactly what he did. Anyway, so this is what we have, people. And no surprise, it's amazing to me that the Confederacy of Dunces, they're so shocked and surprised about the series of central banks. I mean, a whole slew of them, all doing the same thing at the same time, all lowering rates. But you guys knew this was happening months ago. And then Steve Leisman, are they coordinating? You think that maybe they should coordinate? Steve Leisman, I'll tell you what, buddy. I'll stop making fun of you. Why don't you come to my house? I will personally make you dinner. I'll cook it myself. I can cook. Yeah, I can. I will make you dinner, Steve Leisman. You'll come down here to my house and we'll talk. Bring the cameras with you. Why don't you bring all the cameras from CNBC and why don't they record our conversation, and I will school you like you have no idea. I'll tell you what's really going on. You probably do know. But you see, you sold your soul to the devil, and you're being paid to say whatever they tell you to say. And you know what, Steve? I feel really sorry for you. I wouldn't do that for any amount of money on this planet Earth. I cannot be bought. I wouldn't care if one of you out here was a multi-billionaire. So, Greg, I'm going to give you $1 billion right now to go start lying to your subs. I wouldn't take it. I would laugh. I would laugh like you. I would light it on fire in front of them. I don't care. Don't matter at all to me. That's the truth. All right, so anyway, let's summarize real quick. Retest looks like it's playing out here. Let's watch where this goes tomorrow into the next day. Keep your eye on that yield curve. It's unbelievable. We have a 30-year yielding less than the federal funds rate. It's unbelievable. Unheard of. It's the truth. Literally, it's unheard of. You got calls from the president who's getting bad advice from his counselors parroting the same thing. Yeah, he can't. They must be right. No, Mr. President, they're not right. If you're going to continue to play the debt game like every other world leader is right now, you lose. And we all lose because you're letting yourself lose because you don't have the guts, Mr. President. You do not have the guts. Neither do any of the Democrats up there running. Not one has the guts to do what needs to be done. And that would be, like I outlined recently. You want me to summarize? Okay, I'll do it. Number 1, revalue gold 10 times higher. Number 2, back the dollar with a fraction of gold. That's it. Right there, you take the opposite side of the trade. You stop China in its tracks, and we all win. You won't do that. Do you know why? I'm going to tell everyone a secret, Mr. President. One that you won't, allow them to know because you're calling for a weaker dollar. You're calling for the Fed to lower rates dramatically, just like your Navarro thing, yellow stain over there, the other yellow stain, is telling you to do. But if you did this, Mr. President, the stock market would take a hit. A big one. Probably lose 50% in the blink of an eye. You can't let that happen because Boeing and Caterpillar, you spoke about them this morning in your tweet. I read your Twitter feed. He said how these companies would be doing so much better. But what you won't tell people is Boeing and Caterpillar are both part of the military-industrial complex. How about you let that little cat out of the bag? No, you won't do that either. No. Zero. Mr. President, I'm going to start calling you Zero henceforth, I think. So, everyone, the president's new name is Zero. You know I like to have names for people, Yellowstains, zeros, and whatever. And that's the new thing. That the policy of the dumbed down from Zero. Beautiful. I'm just loving it. Anyway, with that said, I do love all of you. And for those of you that are going to be offended by what I just said, why don't you counter my argument? Counter it. What is the president doing for you? Do you think the weaker dollar is going to help you? Do you think these rate cuts are helping you? Is it helping our economy? Do you really see what's going on? Or are you buying the lies? Just like the one about China paying the tariffs, for which they're not. It's paid by the importers. Oh, yeah. And how about the other one? Oh, yeah, we're taking in billions from China. Oh, we're not. Trade deficit, 180 billion. We're taking in just over 60 billion. That's a loss of 100-something billion. Yeah. You can't know that either, because Zero won't tell you. No. I love you. See you in the morning.